Every year, Huddersfield Contemporary Music Festival hosts a whole range of concerts and events across the town over 10 days in November. This year we worked with 3 composers from Sound and Music to introduce children to contemporary music for the first time. Inspired by the scores from the British Music Collection, it's been a wonderful opportunity for them to explore sounds and compose music together in new ways.
Another aspect of the project was that the professional composers who worked on the project also had the opportunity for professional development. So although they're professional composers, they wanted to develop their skills and their practice as educators. So going into schools and being composers and sharing their creative and composing skills with those children.
Today is the culmination of a project based on a series of pieces written in the 1960s and 70s called Music for Young Players. And the idea of these pieces was to provide a repertoire for young people to engage in composition and creative music in schools.
There is a large body of scores that have been sort of holed up in boxes for 20, 30 years. And now they've moved into Heritage Key. They are unpacking those boxes and trying to make those works more available. So we've had the opportunity to have a rummage around in all of their scores and find some fantastic works, really great pieces.
We've been working with 3 composers in 6 Kirklees primary schools to create new pieces, but also to recreate some of these pieces from the 60s and 70s.
I think they've responded really well, and some of the ideas that have come from the kids have been really brilliant. For example, we've got quite a lot of percussion in it, but we've also brought in some melodic material, but that kind of sits nicely as a contrasting sound to the percussion.
I like this triangle sound and when we were spinning the coins on the drums.
One of the really positive aspects of the project for me was getting to share it with the other composers that were involved. So we all came up with really interesting ways of engaging the kids, and being able to discuss them and share them right from the beginning of the project and all the way along meant that I learnt a lot.
One of the other things that's really interesting about this project is how it really focuses on the act of composition, making composing a really integral part of music.
The kids here have been fantastic. And actually seeing the reaction and the engagement from a bunch of 9 and 10-year-olds who've never come across experimental music before and have just got it, actually. They have taught me loads.
I think it's super special to work with such a large number of musicians that maybe didn't know they were musicians before they started this project.
It makes me feel very calm because it makes me feel like I'm in my own place and I can just relax. Music doesn't always have to be from an instrument. It also can come from sound effects from brushes, coins, and by your hands.
Playing at the Town Hall is a big deal, you know, for a lot of these kids. This will be the first time that they've ever performed a piece of music.
As composers, it's rare that we get the opportunity to go in and work directly with young people in schools. It felt like we could really explore our own ideas and develop our own ways that we have of working in an educational context. And it meant that we really had a sense of freedom in being able to really give the kids the freedom to actually experiment and play with the ideas. Even if it just plants a little seed in their minds about contemporary music that maybe grows into something as they get older, that would be a really nice thing to think that that'd come out of the project.
Playing music and talking about music and sound is really inspiring. It helps us pay attention to things.
It's always interesting to see young people engaged with exploring sound in interesting and dynamic ways. So not necessarily assuming that the music they're making is based on the music they already know. So it's been a real sound exploration project.